Good morning, multimedia and webpage design. Usually I'm saying good afternoon to you because we meet after lunch, but in these bizarre times, it's morning. Hope you all are staying safe, staying calm. I really miss your class, miss the energy you all bring every day. So we're going to try the best we can to channel that energy remotely. Today is the beginning of our continuity of learning. And what I'll do for the next however many weeks we're out of school is put your work on Canvas on Sunday evenings. But by Monday morning, it will definitely be on Canvas. I'll always put it at the top in a new subfolder with the date so you can find it. You can see this week's work is called Continuity of Learning 331, which is this yesterday, until Friday. Um, and one thing that you'll hear me say often, I'm going to open the work up for you and give you the whole week to do it. Similar to my college classes, I'm going to let the work be open until Sunday nights by 11:59 p.m. So right before midnight on Sunday nights. That way you can log in Monday morning, see how much work you have to do, and kind of pace yourselves. And we're going to kind of ease into it. I don't intend to hammer you with too much work. This class will be a little more challenging just due to software issues, but I'll be flexible and I'm sure you will do fine with what's necessary. So if you come to this new subfolder, Continuity of Learning, you can see there's a few files out here, and just for my purposes, I always put a PowerPoint together so I can stay organized. It's just what I'm used to doing. I'm a creature of habit. So this PowerPoint reflects these assignments. So I gave you that just because I really miss watching The Office. I have not binged on it nearly as much as I should. But again, this week's work's due 11:59 before Sunday. Okay, so a few assignments. First one, and these are all informal grades. So although we're no longer having a midterm, we essentially are halfway through this course. So I did want you to just kind of review what we've done so far up through Photoshop. So none of this should be new learning. And it's in Kia, Multimedia and Webpage Design Midterm Exam Review. Again, informal grade. It's 32 questions. It's worth 16 points. So each one I'll put in the gradebook is worth half a point. It's open note. If this were something I'd give you in class, I would make it open note. And I actually put your link right out here for you to click and go directly to it. And I put that in PowerSchool as a 16-point grade, and it's due Sunday by 11:59 p.m. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I miss the competitiveness in this class. I always had my serial winners in Kahoot and quizzes. So we're going to try to bring that competitiveness to you remotely. There's a quizzes midterm review exam. I would probably do this after the Kia. This is simply a 5-point completion grade. Okay, it's set on a timer. Um, there is your link, but I know that might be tough to see. So I also drop the link right here. You can click that and it'll directly go to it. And what I did with this, again, 5 points for completing it. To make it interesting, my top 5 players get a bonus point on the assignment. So think about our class and think about who was always winning. And some of you are really pointing to yourself with a big smirk on your face. So my top 5, I'm going to give you an extra point so you can get a 6 out of 5. You can see the leaderboard as you're playing, and the game is open until Sunday by 11:59 p.m. And again, you get 5 points just for simply playing. So those of you that get stressed out, no need to get stressed. You get your points just for finishing the questions. Um, and then the last thing we're going to do is we will begin Adobe Illustrator next week. Now, some of you don't have laptops or desktops, so I'm going to have to be creative in whatever software we do, giving you an alternative. Um, and the I'm just looking at my slides right now. Create a new folder inside Objective-2 OneDrive entitled 2.02 Vector Graphics. Although we're not in school, you don't need to use OneDrive. It's probably a good place to store things. And just for you to stay organized personally at home, you're never going to show me folders. You're just going to simply upload work through Canvas. but probably not a bad idea. And what I want you to get done before Monday morning is get some kind of software on your computer so that Monday morning I'm going to start teaching with Illustrator. You're able to do it. Now, for my folks that say, Mr. Saad, I don't have a laptop, I don't have a desktop. Hopefully you have a device. I stumbled upon um, the research I've done seems to be pretty positive about a program called Inkscape, and it's free. It's open source vector graphics, and that's the whole key with Adobe Illustrator, which I'll explain on Monday morning. Um, I did not download it, but here's what it looked like. You can see it's a .org. It's just inkscape.org, and you're able to download a version on your computer. It seems to be legit. So those of you that don't have the ability to use Illustrator, go ahead and use this. If you have the ability to use Illustrator, I'm going to really encourage you to download it. And I think I showed you this in an earlier video, but now that you have my screen, this might help out a little more. For those of you that have PC capabilities or Mac capabilities, you're just going to go to Adobe Creative Cloud Login. In the upper right corner, it should say Login once my computer loads. And you can see it hesitates for a second. All right, maybe more than 1 second. Oh, you know what? That wasn't smart. I just logged in. I wonder if I'm in right now. Let's see. This is what we call teaching on the fly. I just logged in to make sure I could get in, and when I went to log in, I put in my username at cms.k12.nc.us. Yeah, there we go. Don't use don't use your student login. You can see it remembers me. So Keon, I think you emailed me about not seeing the login button, and I gave you bad advice. I said try a different browser, refresh. Now that I'm doing this myself, you probably were already in, so hopefully that worked for you, Keon. So here you go. So you have Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, InDesign. I'm going to go to Illustrator, and I'm going to get the desktop app. I did not download the desktop app yet. Here's my download button. I think another student, maybe Sophia, it was you, emailed me about downloading it, and I also gave you bad advice and said I don't think you need to download it. I think it's web-based. I'm wrong again. It should pop up down here in my downloads. There it is. So if you're having challenges doing this, email me. And if you just know that your software won't allow for it, whether it's not the right type of computer or you have a space issue, you'll have to use Inkscape. And I'll just have to be flexible and lenient when I grade work. We'll probably run into this problem with perhaps audio. That's one of our next units, and we're going to do video. So we'll just kind of have to roll with it. Okay, so I'm signed in. I'm going to say beginner. So I don't think I can pause my Screencastify video, or else I would pause it and come back in because that's not a good number right now. So you may want to fast forward through this.